Hello, all my beautiful sisters from those other misters. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm introducing an eyeshadow project that I'm going to be trying to complete in 2020. I'm calling this the Quartergram Eyeshadow Challenge because for me, I think this is going to be a challenge. I love eyeshadow palettes, okay? I love all makeup. I love makeup. Makeup is my thing. Everyone has a thing that they spend their disposable income on or their like fun money. And for me, it's makeup. And if I had to choose one category for makeup that's like my favorite thing, it would be eyeshadow palettes and eyeshadows as well. So I have amassed a lot of them over the years. My eyeshadow palettes are currently at... So I currently have, I think, 201 eyeshadow palettes, but there are also some that have come in through PR that I haven't put on my inventory list yet. I'm going to try not to keep them all, to be perfectly honest. With the amount of eyeshadows that are just in palettes, I have nearly 2,500. That's so much. It is so much. That doesn't even include like my single eyeshadows, my liquid eyeshadows, my pigments. Like, it's just so much. It is so much. And in 2019, I was very lucky to be able to convert my garage into like a filming and beauty studio. And I took all of my makeup from my room and I put it in these Alex drawers behind me. And when I did that move, I knew that I had a lot of makeup, but it wasn't until I was boxing things up to move them in here that I was just blown away by the sheer amount that I had amassed. Because I was storing my makeup in a very small space, a lot of it was getting hidden under makeup. It was makeup under makeup under makeup. And I had no idea what I had. And there was a lot of like buying, not only because I'm interested in new makeup and I want to try new makeup, but also because I was like, oh, I don't have one of these, or I don't have anything like this. And I would buy something, and then like when I finally got in here, I was like, oh my God, how did this happen? How did this happen? So through 2019, I've been doing a project pan where I've been using up products, and I loved that. I feel like I've stayed fresh with that all year. I haven't had any I haven't really been disinterested in panning the products, which is so good. I've also been doing monthly makeup baskets, which have resulted in me decluttering things every month, which is fantastic. I pull out a bunch of products, I use them for the month, and if there's something I don't like, I put it straight in the declutter drawer, which is fantastic. And I did do 2 declutters this year. One was I think a 2-part series where I did my whole collection out of my drawers, and I got rid of quite a few things. I think I made a note of it. So it looks like I decluttered with the declutter that I did earlier in the year, and then the one that I did just the other day. Looks like I've decluttered 295 products, and I've already got a box that's full of items, and I just decluttered 5 eyeshadow palettes out of the eyeshadow palettes that I haven't used. So like I'm happy with how I've been going with using up my products and decluttering my products. So it's been really nice taking the year to get to know my collection again and slowly declutter things that I know I don't want or won't use. But the hard part, or the hard area for me, has been eyeshadows and eyeshadow palettes. I have so many of them and I feel overwhelmed by what to use. I don't know, I just can't really get my head around how to tackle it. I don't want to just go in half-cocked and like declutter a whole bunch of shit, because I don't want to have declutterer's regret. I want to make sure that when I'm getting rid of something, I'm genuinely getting rid of it because I have no feelings about it anymore. I'm like, I don't need you in my life. We're done. The relationship is over. You need to go. So I wanted to incorporate a project that would help me to use my eyeshadows. Now, I didn't want this project to just be about, you know, pulling out 4 palettes for a month and playing with them and seeing how I feel. No, I want to nitty gritty my eyeshadows. I want to be creating dips. I maybe even want to hit pan or potentially finish completely eyeshadows this year or in 2020. So I have decided to do a 1/4 gram challenge. So what I'm planning on doing is taking 2 eyeshadow palettes, 7 single eyeshadows, and 3 like single items that are not just like pan shadows, and using up 1/4 gram of product. Now, 1/4 gram doesn't sound like much, and it's really not, but in some cases with some eyeshadows, it is a lot, depending on their pigmentation, things like that. When it comes to things like liquid eyeshadows, though, 1/4 gram won't be difficult to go through. But essentially, I am doing this so that I can actually use my palettes, like properly use them. Like, I'm going to start with one of my OGs, the Naked Original palette. And this palette already has a lot of use as, like, you know, dips in a lot of the matte shades. And that's what I want these palettes to leave the project looking like. Used, actually used and loved, with dips and, you know, maybe some pan here or there. I don't know, we'll see. I feel like if I'm actually using my palettes and my eyeshadows extensively, I'm really going to know if I have an attachment to something. And if I don't, I can declutter it, maybe pass it on to a friend. And if I do, I can keep it and love it. Now, I know this challenge is not going to allow me to get through all of my eyeshadow palette and eyeshadow collection this year. Even if I used like 1 palette a day or like 1 sort of single product a day, like I wouldn't be able to get through them all in a year. But this is a marathon for me, not a race. I do hope that I get along well with this project, and I can continue to do it for years to come. Another thing that I want to try and do in 2020 is minimize my eyeshadow palette purchasing. And eyeshadows, like just anything eyeshadow related, really minimize it. I feel like I kind of did well this year. I've probably done better than past years, but I don't think it was good enough. It looks like I potentially purchased 34 palettes myself this year, but I've had a lot more come in through like PR and summer's gifts and stuff like that, and it's too much. It's too much, and I want to try and minimize that yet again. Now, I'm not gonna make any I'm not gonna put any pressure on myself with like not buying things, because I've done that in the past and I find that I can do it for a while and then I kind of rebel. So I don't think that's really a healthy way to do it. Like, over the years, I have recognized where my weaknesses are with buying products, and also my weakness with actually being able to use products. Like, if you've got too much, you can't fucking use it all. And I have been making changes and I've been doing it slowly. And I find that works so much better for me because I'm being self-aware and I am slowly making the changes to improve on my purchasing habits. I will talk more about like everything that I purchased in my end of month monitoring my beauty purchases video. and I'll do like a little bit of a recap for 2019. But yeah, I just want to have a go. I want to have a go. I want to use things. I want to use them properly, and I want to then use the knowledge that I gather from using the products to whittle down my collection a little bit. I didn't realize I was going to be so rambly in this video, but that happened. It's a thing. I think I just got a little bit in my feels about it and then vomited those feels at you. So sorry about that, but now you maybe know where I'm coming from, and like I'm very passionate about makeup. It's my thing. Like it just brings me joy, but I have too much of it and I want to own less of it. So I did tell you the basic premise, but I've got to be a little bit more specific. So I'm starting with 2 palettes. I'm starting with 7 individual eyeshadows and 3 like loose or single shadows as well. So palettes, the idea is to finish 1/4 gram for every pan that is in the palette. So I have the Naked one here. She's the OG, and I've been using it recently and I freaking love it. So there's 12 eyeshadows in here, and if we times 12 by 1/4 gram, we get 3 grams. So that's how I'm doing it with the palettes, because I'll be able to like weigh the palette and see how much I'm using each month. So the goal here is to use 3 grams of product. Sounds like a lot. Same goes with this guy, which is the Smasbox. Yes, Smasbox. Smasbox Ablaze palette. So there are 8 eyeshadows in here, which means my target is 2 grams of product. In my like single custom palette thing, I've got some Makeup Geek shadows. This one's from Tarte, this one's from Ulta 3, and this one is I don't actually know. It's just some random brown shade. But again, the goal is to use 1/4 gram from each individual eyeshadow, and once I have used that up, I can swap it out for something new. And you guessed it, the same goes for these guys. So I have Colourpop Paradox here. I have a, I think this is pronounced Babia. It is a Korean brand. It's a gorgeous, like, sort of taupey gold pigment. I love this. I've had it forever, and I've used it, and I just dropped it on my carpet. The lid, not the tub, thank God. That would have been a fucking disaster. I would have cried. I would hate cleaning that out of the carpet. Yeah, gorgeous. I've been using this a little bit recently, and I'm like, oh, just stunning. Absolutely stunning. And this guy is from Etude House. It is one of the Mirrorholic eye shimmers. It's like a still a magnificent metal. It's just a mini one. So again, 1/4 gram, and then swap it out. So I'll do an update every month. I'll do weight check-ins with the palettes and all of the individual products to see how they're going. And I'm also going to allow myself to either swap out or declutter something at any given time. I'm not even going to save them for updates. If at any time during the month I'm going, I don't like this palette, I don't want to keep this palette, we're done, I am going to set it aside so I can talk about it in the video, but I'm going to find something else, I will weigh it, and I'm going to put it straight into the project, and then I will update you on what's been happening when I film my update videos. I don't want to get stale or jaded or frustrated with this project. I want to use my eyeshadows, and if at any point I discover that something is no longer for me, then it's time to go. So that's it. I'm going to stop the talking. I'm going to go and have some lunch because I feel like I've got a dry mouth from all the yammering. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you are doing anything in 2020 to minimize your collection or use your collection more, or your eyeshadows, or like maybe you've got an issue with lipsticks or something like that, feel free to let me know down in the comments section, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.